Well, it's easy to do. I know a lot of you use Tap to Pay. Tonight, a warning. The Better Business Bureau is seeing more scams targeting Tap to Pay users.
Your card never left your hand. So how did someone steal $3,000? Tap to Pay scams are spreading faster than anyone realizes. In 2026, contactless fraud cost victims over $890 million, and most never saw it coming. If you're over 50, you're the #1 target. Today, we're exposing 13 Tap to Pay scams draining accounts right now. Make sure you watch until the end. The final scam modifies your transaction amount in real time, and there's almost no way to detect it until your money is gone. Let's get into it. 13. Contactless card skimming in crowded places. You're standing in a packed subway car during rush hour. Someone brushes past you, their backpack touching your pocket for just a second. You think nothing of it, but that person just scanned your contactless card and captured your card number without ever touching your wallet. This is RFID skimming, and it's more common than most people realize. Criminals use portable card readers small enough to hide in a backpack or coat pocket. These devices read contactless cards through clothing, bags, and wallets. They walk through crowded areas, subway stations, concert venues, shopping malls, airports, collecting card data from dozens of people in minutes. The technology isn't even expensive. These readers cost as little as $50 online and can capture card numbers, expiration dates, and sometimes even your name from several inches away. No physical contact, no suspicious behavior, just a person standing near you in a crowd. A 67-year-old retired teacher in Boston noticed $2,400 in charges appearing over 3 days, all from online retailers she'd never heard of. She hadn't used her card anywhere unusual. Investigation revealed her card had likely been skimmed while she was standing in line at a concert venue. She never felt a thing. Here's what banks won't tell you. Your contactless card is constantly broadcasting, ready to respond to any reader that asks. It doesn't know the difference between a legitimate terminal and a criminal's device in a backpack. To protect yourself, invest in an RFID blocking wallet or card sleeve. These use special materials that prevent radio signals from reaching your cards. They cost as little as $10. Alternatively, wrap your contactless cards in aluminum foil when not in use. It's not elegant, but it works. You might think keeping your card secure in your pocket is enough, but the next scam shows that even when you're actively using your card, criminals have found a way in. 12. Fake contactless payment terminals. You're at a street fair buying food from a vendor. They have a tablet with a card reader attached. Looks professional enough. You tap your card, the transaction goes through, you get your food. But that wasn't a legitimate payment terminal. It was a modified device designed to capture your card data while processing your small, legitimate charge. The terminals look convincing because they're based on real payment hardware. Some scammers buy legitimate card readers and modify them with skimming components. Others create replica terminals that are completely fraudulent but appear identical to the real thing. Your transaction actually processes. You get your receipt, your bank shows the charge, so you have no reason to suspect anything. A 62-year-old couple attending a music festival in Texas used their contactless card at multiple food vendors. 3 days later, they noticed $3,800 in charges at retailers they'd never visited. Investigation revealed one vendor was using a modified square reader that captured full card details while processing legitimate transactions. By the time authorities were notified, the vendor had vanished. They spent 6 weeks disputing charges and waiting for replacement cards. Their bank initially questioned whether they had shared their card information, as if they'd done something wrong. They hadn't. They'd just bought a $12 sandwich. To protect yourself, monitor your account closely after using your card at temporary or unfamiliar vendors. Enable transaction alerts so you're notified immediately of any charges. If you see unauthorized activity, report it to your bank instantly and request a new card. Ever used your card at a street fair or festival? Drop your story in the comments if anything suspicious happened afterward. Hey, if you're finding this information valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. These scams are evolving every single day, and staying informed could save you thousands. Let's keep going. That scam happens at sketchy vendors. The next one happens through the phone you trust most. 11. Digital wallet card cloning. Your phone buzzes with a notification. New card added to Apple Pay. But you didn't add a new card. Someone else did, and they're about to drain your account using your own digital wallet. Most banks have verification processes when cards are added to new wallets, but these processes are often shockingly weak. Some send a verification code via SMS, which hackers can intercept if they've compromised your phone number. Others use email verification, which they control if they've accessed your email. Some banks even allow instant provisioning without verification if if certain conditions are met. Once your card is in their digital wallet, they can make contactless payments anywhere that accepts tap to pay. And those transactions look completely legitimate to your bank because they're authenticated through the wallet's security features. A 58-year-old Chicago business executive lost $6,200 in a single afternoon after hackers gained access to her iCloud account through a phishing email. They added her credit card to Apple Pay on their own iPhone and made purchases at high-end electronics stores. When she disputed the charges, her bank initially denied the claim because the transactions were authenticated through Apple Pay biometrics. The bank assumed she had authorized them. It took 3 months of fighting and threatening to involve regulators before she recovered her money. Here's what Apple and Google won't advertise. Once criminals add your card to their wallet, every purchase looks like you made it. The biometric authentication that's supposed to protect you actually protects the thief because the bank sees fingerprint verified and assumes everything is legitimate. To protect yourself, enable two-factor authentication on all accounts associated with your digital wallets: Apple ID, Google account, Samsung account, and email. Set up card notifications so you're alerted immediately when cards are added to new devices. That scam exploits your digital accounts. The next one exploits a feature you didn't even know existed. 10. Contactless transaction relay attacks. You're at home. Your wallet is sitting on the kitchen counter. Your contactless card is safely in your house. Meanwhile, someone is using that same card at a store 2 miles away. How is this possible? Relay attacks use two devices, one near your card and one near a payment terminal. The device near your card, hidden outside your front door, in your mailbox, or in the apartment next to yours, captures the signal when a payment terminal requests it. That signal is transmitted to a second device at a distant payment terminal, which presents it as if your card is physically there. These attacks work because contactless cards respond to payment requests automatically. They don't know whether the request is coming from a terminal inches away or being relayed from miles away. The transaction completes successfully. The merchant gets paid. Your bank sees a normal contactless purchase. A 71-year-old London resident reported multiple fraudulent tap-to-pay transactions while his wallet was locked in his apartment safe. Investigators discovered criminals had placed a relay device in the hallway outside his door. When an accomplice held a second device near payment terminals at various stores, transactions processed as if his card was physically present. He lost £4,200 before his bank froze the card. And here's the infuriating part. His bank initially accused him of lending his card to someone because the transaction showed as contactless taps. He had to threaten legal action before they admitted relay attacks were even possible. To protect yourself, RFID blocking wallets prevent your card from responding to nearby requests. Some security experts recommend storing contactless cards in metal containers when at home, and monitor your account vigilantly. If you see charges when you know your card never left home, you may be experiencing relay attacks. That scam works even when your card is secured at home. But the next one happens at the point of sale, right in front of you. 9. Double tap charge scams. You tap your card at a terminal. It beeps. Transaction complete, or so you think. Actually, the terminal just charged you twice or 3 times in that single tap. You won't notice until you check your statement later. Some dishonest merchants or compromised payment systems are configured to process multiple transactions from a single tap. The terminal beeps once, but it's submitting multiple charges. By the time you notice duplicate charges, you're stuck disputing them. This scam works particularly well with small transactions where people don't check receipts. Buy a $4 coffee, get charged $12. Most people won't notice until their monthly statement arrives, and by then, the merchant claims it was a processing error or that you tapped multiple times. More sophisticated versions process one legitimate charge at the agreed amount, plus additional smaller charges that appear to be from different merchants. You bought lunch for $15, but there's also a $3.50 charge from a parking app you don't recognize, and a $5 charge from a vending company. These small charges are designed to slip past notice. A 64-year-old retiree in Phoenix noticed she'd been double charged at the same coffee shop 11 times over 2 months. Each time was only $4.50 extra, small enough to miss. When she finally added it up, she'd lost nearly $50 to glitches that weren't glitches at all. To protect yourself, check your receipt immediately after every tap-to-pay transaction. Enable real-time transaction alerts so you're notified of every charge as it happens. If you see duplicates, photograph the receipt and dispute immediately with both the merchant and your bank. While you're monitoring for duplicate charges, the next scam is stealing your money through charges you never authorized at all. 8. Tap-to-pay skimming at gas stations. You pull up to a gas pump, tap your card, and fill your tank. The transaction seems normal, but that payment terminal has been compromised with a thin overlay device that captured your complete card information while processing your legitimate purchase. Gas station contactless readers are prime targets because they're outdoor, unsupervised, and accessed by hundreds of customers daily. Criminals install overlay skimmers directly on top of legitimate tap-to-pay readers. These overlays are so thin and well-designed that they're nearly impossible to detect visually. They capture your card information wirelessly while your transaction processes normally. Nothing seems wrong. The pump works, the receipt prints, your bank shows the correct charge. But your card information is now in criminal hands. A 66-year-old trucker in Oklahoma used a highway gas station tap reader during a long haul. 2 weeks later, $5,700 in charges appeared from electronics stores in 3 different states. The overlay device had been on that pump for 19 days, compromising an estimated 400 cards before anyone noticed. Here's what gas stations won't admit. Many don't inspect their outdoor terminals daily, or even weekly. Criminals know exactly which stations have lax security and target them repeatedly. To protect yourself, pay inside with the attendant when possible. Use pumps directly visible from the attendant's station. Inspect tap-to-pay readers before use. Look for anything loose, misaligned, or different in color, and monitor your accounts closely after using any outdoor terminal. If you're thinking you'll avoid gas stations, the next scam happens at places you'd never suspect, including your favorite local businesses. 7. Employee credential theft. Your favorite local restaurant accepts tap to pay. You're a regular. You trust them. But what if one of their employees has been using their access to the payment system to steal customer card information, and you just tapped your card during their shift? Employee theft at point of sale represents a significant portion of tap-to-pay fraud. Dishonest employees with access to payment systems can view transaction details, capture card information, or process fraudulent charges. Some install skimmers on terminals they operate. Others photograph card details that appear on terminal screens during transactions. Because these are legitimate employees with authorized system access, their activities are harder to detect than external attacks. They steal information gradually over months, flying under fraud detection radar. A popular Brooklyn cafe discovered a former employee had been accessing their payment system remotely for 4 months. He collected card information from over 300 tap-to-pay transactions and sold the data on the dark web. Victims reported a combined $127,000 in fraudulent charges. The cafe's owner had no idea until banks started contacting him about the fraud pattern. His trusted employee had been stealing from his customers the entire time. To protect yourself, use credit cards instead of debit cards for better fraud protection. Enable transaction alerts and review statements regularly, even for merchants you visit frequently. Trust no one with your financial security. Have you ever discovered fraud from a business you trusted? Share your experience in the comments. That scam comes from inside legitimate businesses. The next one operates in plain sight at public events. 6. Fake charity tap-to-pay terminals. You're walking through a shopping center when someone approaches with a tablet and card reader. They're collecting donations for a children's hospital, disaster relief, or animal shelter. The cause seems legitimate. They have branded materials, a professional setup. You tap your card to donate $20. Except there's no charity. You just gave money directly to a scammer, and they captured your card information in the process. Fake charity scams have evolved to exploit tap-to-pay. Criminals set up professional-looking collection stations at malls, grocery stores, and festivals. They wear branded shirts, carry printed materials, and use tablets with card readers that look completely legitimate. Some process your donation amount and pocket it while capturing your card for future fraud. Others add charges beyond your intended donation. The most sophisticated install malware on your smartphone when you tap, gaining access to your banking apps. A 72-year-old grandmother in Denver tapped her card to donate $25 to what she thought was a children's cancer charity. Over the next week, $3,400 in charges appeared from online retailers. The charity worker had captured her complete card information during that single tap. She felt foolish for falling for it. She shouldn't have. These operations are professionally run and designed to exploit generosity. Here's what legitimate charities want you to know. They never collect tap-to-pay donations through random people approaching you in in public. Real charities have websites, official apps, and verifiable tax-exempt status. To protect yourself, never donate via tap to pay to people who approach you in public. If you want to support a cause, donate through the charity's official website. And if you've already tapped for a suspicious charity, monitor your account and consider requesting a replacement card. While you're busy avoiding fake charities, the next scam is stealing your data through the air itself, and you'll never see it happening. 5. Bluetooth eavesdropping on transactions. You tap your card at a store terminal. The transaction completes. You leave. But someone sitting in a car outside with a laptop just captured your entire transaction data, including your card number and security code, by intercepting the Bluetooth signal between your card and the terminal. Many modern tap-to-pay systems use Bluetooth Low Energy to communicate between cards, phones, and payment terminals. While this includes encryption, security researchers have demonstrated vulnerabilities that allow interception with the right equipment. Criminals position themselves near businesses with high transaction volumes, coffee shops, fast food restaurants, convenience stores, and monitor Bluetooth signals. When you tap, your device communicates wirelessly with the terminal. That signal can be intercepted and, in some cases, decrypted to reveal your card details. A security researcher in Berlin demonstrated this vulnerability by sitting outside a busy cafe for 1 hour. He intercepted 40 contactless transactions and successfully decrypted 11 of them, obtaining complete card details including CVV codes. He reported his findings to authorities, but criminals with similar skills could do this at scale. Here's what payment processors won't acknowledge. They've known about these Bluetooth vulnerabilities for years. Fixing them would require expensive infrastructure upgrades. Instead, they quietly accept the fraud losses while customers bear the consequences. To protect yourself, there's no consumer-level defense against Bluetooth eavesdropping. Use digital wallets like Apple Pay or Google Pay when possible. Their tokenization makes intercepted data less useful. And monitor your accounts obsessively. That scam requires technical expertise. The next one is devastatingly simple, and it's happening at ATMs right now. 4. ATM tap-to-pay overlay scams. You approach an ATM to withdraw cash. It has a new contactless reader for tap-to-pay withdrawals. Convenient. You tap your card, enter your PIN, get your cash. But that tap-to-pay reader isn't part of the original ATM. It's an overlay device installed by criminals. It just captured your card information and PIN. As banks upgrade ATMs to accept contactless cards, criminals exploit this transition by installing fake tap-to-pay readers over legitimate card slots. These overlays look like genuine additions, matching colors, professional construction, seamless integration. When you tap, the fake reader captures your information and stores it or transmits wirelessly to criminals nearby. The ATM functions normally underneath. You enter your PIN, get your cash, leave with no indication anything is wrong. Some overlays include PIN capturing cameras or keypad overlays that record your PIN. This combination of card data plus PIN allows criminals to create cloned cards for any ATM. A 69-year-old Ohio woman used an ATM with contactless capability at her local grocery store. 3 days later, withdrawals appeared from ATMs in Pennsylvania and New York. $3,400 total. Her daily limit exploited over multiple days. Investigators discovered the overlay had been on that ATM for nearly 2 weeks, compromising hundreds of customers. She spent 4 months fighting her bank, which initially claimed she must have shared her PIN. She hadn't. She'd just used an ATM that looked completely normal. To protect yourself, inspect ATMs carefully before use, especially new tap-to-pay readers. Wiggle the reader. Legitimate components are firmly attached. Use ATMs inside bank branches when possible. Cover the keypad when entering your PIN, and monitor your account daily. That scam modifies physical equipment, but the next 3 are on a completely different level. Psychological warfare, invisible software attacks, and a final scam so advanced that security experts say there's almost no way to detect it. 3. Digital wallet authorization push bombing. Your phone explodes with notifications. 47 requests in 1 minute, all asking you to authorize adding your card to Apple Pay or Google Pay. Your phone is buzzing non-stop. Overwhelmed and frustrated, you tap Approve just to make it stop. You just authorized criminals to add your card to their device. Push bombing floods you with authentication requests, counting on you to accidentally approve one or deliberately approve one out of frustration. Criminals already have your account credentials from phishing or data breaches. Now they're trying to add your cards to their wallets, and each attempt generates a notification. The psychological warfare is intentional. Endless notifications are annoying, disruptive, embarrassing if you're in a meeting or quiet setting. Your natural response is to make them stop. Approving one seems like the easiest way. Once you approve, your card is instantly in their digital wallet. They can immediately make contactless purchases that appear legitimate. A 63-year-old executive received 89 authorization requests during an important client dinner. Embarrassed by his buzzing phone, he approved one just to silence it. Within an hour, $4,100 in purchases appeared at electronic stores across the city. To protect yourself, never approve authorization requests unless you personally initiated the action seconds before. If you receive unexpected requests, deny them all and immediately change passwords for email, phone account, and financial accounts. That scam overwhelms you with requests. The next one gives you no notification at all. 2. Merchant-side terminal malware. You tap your card at a major retailer, a big chain you trust. The transaction processes normally. Receipt prints. Everything seems fine, but malware installed on that store's payment system just harvested your card information. You have absolutely no way of knowing. Point-of-sale malware infects payment terminals at the software level. The terminal looks fine physically, your transaction processes correctly, but every card that taps is captured and transmitted to criminals. Major retail breaches have affected millions this way. Target's 2013 breach compromised 40 million cards. Home Depot's 2014 breach affected 56 million. Smaller retailers get breached constantly and often never report it publicly. A family in Georgia used contactless payment at a regional grocery chain for several weeks. 2 months later, they noticed $6,800 in fraudulent charges. Investigation revealed the chain's payment system had been infected for over 100 days, compromising an estimated 47,000 cards. The store never detected the breach. It was only discovered when banks noticed a fraud pattern. Here's the brutal truth. Retailers often delay disclosing breaches to protect stock prices and reputation. Your card could be compromised right now. The store you shopped at last week might not tell you for months. There is no consumer protection against merchant-side malware. Your only defenses: use credit instead of debit for better fraud protection, monitor accounts vigilantly, and report unauthorized charges immediately. That scam is invisible. The final scam is even worse. It exploits the very infrastructure that makes tap-to-pay possible. 1. NFC payment interception and modification. The most sophisticated tap-to-pay scam doesn't just steal your card information. It modifies transactions in real time while they're being processed. You tap to pay $15 for lunch, but the transaction that actually processes charges you $150 or $1,500. By the time you notice, the money is gone, and proving what happened is nearly impossible. NFC transaction manipulation uses specialized equipment positioned between your card and the payment terminal. When you tap, your card sends payment information through the criminal's device before it reaches the legitimate terminal. Their device modifies the transaction amount in transit, changing what you pay, while the terminal screen still displays the original amount. This happens in milliseconds, faster than either your card or the terminal can detect. The receipt shows the original amount because the display wasn't modified, only the transaction data sent to your bank. Victims typically don't notice until checking statements weeks later. Proving the transaction was modified is nearly impossible. The merchant has a receipt showing the lower amount. Your bank shows the higher charge. Without technical forensics, it looks like a dispute over transaction amount, and banks often side with merchants. A 61-year-old business owner in Miami tapped to pay $45 for dinner. His statement showed $450. The restaurant had the receipt for $45. His bank said the charge was $450. Tap verified and refused to investigate further. He lost the dispute and the money. There is no foolproof protection against NFC interception. Your best defense: check your bank balance immediately after every contactless transaction through your app. If the amount doesn't match, contact your bank instantly while you're still at the merchant location. Enable transaction alerts for every purchase. For high-value transactions, consider chip and PIN instead of tap. Chip authentication is harder to manipulate in real time. For everyday purchases, use Apple Pay or Google Pay, which use tokenization that makes modification significantly more difficult. These scams are spreading faster than payment processors can stop them, and they're targeting the convenience you've come to rely on. If you're over 50, criminals see you as the ideal target, and they're counting on you not knowing how sophisticated their attacks have become. Now you know, tap to pay isn't the enemy. The the criminals exploiting it are, but awareness and consistent security practices can protect you from becoming the next victim. Have you experienced any of these scams? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience could be the warning that saves someone else from losing thousands. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss the warning that could protect your entire family. Stay safe out there and think twice before you tap.